And we are live for the 44th episode of the Bronx Bomber Ballad podcast. I'm your host, Matt Luz Luigi. And tonight, I'm with Andrew. Andrew, what up?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Just another day, It was a normal week of Yankee baseball until Saturday night when it wasn't. And Andrew, I know you're a guy that follows the sport way closer than most Yankee fans. Did you see this coming out of anywhere? This Edwin Encarnacion signing, Edwin Encarnacion trade coming out of it came out of nowhere.
It literally was the biggest shock. I mean, you posted the screenshot of the Jeff Passan tweet, and I swear to God, I thought it was fake. It was definitely some kind of doctored, manipulated Photoshop tweet. Like, there's no way that's real. It's one of those fake accounts. And then I got the tweet on my phone too, and it was like, wait, what? I mean, it's an incredible add to our lineup, but I mean, it's the last guy you thought we were going to get. Everything that we hear is we got to get a pitcher. We got to get a pitcher. I mean, even if they got a reliever, it would make kind of sense, with the Dellin setback last week. But out of nowhere, bam, the AL home run leader, New York Yankees. What?
Yeah, it's obviously you're going to have people that were mad. There's always Yankee fans that are mad at everything, so it's no surprise there. But because really, right away you say, what about pitching? What about starting pitching? And I think it's pretty clear that this is just the first of at least one more move. I don't want to say several moves because it could just be one additional move, but this is just the first domino to fall, and to just add a bat like this to the lineup, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. The Cashman does it again. He keeps things so quiet. Everything was under wraps, and all of a sudden during the game Saturday, it just drops. The Yankees are up 4-0. You're concerned with the game, and then Jeff Passan tweets that Edwin Encarnacion's headed to New York, and it's just ridiculous. We still have to get Stanton and Judge back. I'm not going to believe they're back until they're in pinstripes, hitting home runs for the Yankees, not the Rail Riders, not the Tarpons, not any affiliate, for the Yankees. And just Encarnacion, just another bat that's just incredible. But as a result, you had Clint going down, and man, it's tough to see, especially with the interview Clint had. It was tough to see him being the one demoted and not Talkman or not Maven. But hey, that's the business, right? He's probably going to be traded soon. He's probably might not see him as a Yankee again, right? Who knows? But Andrew,
man, I don't know. I hope not.
that might be
Maven is. It's tough to move because if you do anything with him, you lose him outright, probably for nothing. But Clint is still a guy who's young, who has options, who they traded one of their best relievers a couple of years ago for. Unless you get a bona fide ace, I don't see an acquisition of a 36-year-old DH who's probably going to be gone next year as a warning sign that Clint's going to be gone. But an interesting note that I did want to touch upon, because you just mentioned it, that Cashman keeps it under wraps. It really makes you wonder. The Yankees were rumored to be in on Manny Machado. They were rumored to be in on Dallas Keuchel, and nothing happened. And clearly, we went out and got a really good hitter, and no one heard a peep about it. It makes you wonder, though, when you hear these rumors that the Yankees are involved, the Yankees are interested. It almost seems like either the beat writers are getting paid to push that propaganda, or other teams are using it as leverage. Or I should say, it would just be the agent using the Yankees as leverage to get the other team's asking price up. I don't know, man. This is how Cashman works. He gets the nickname Ninja Cashman for a reason, not because every move he makes is the best move ever and he's a genius, but it's because he makes these slide moves that come out of left field that no one sees coming, and before you realize it, the Yankees make a huge upgrade before anyone else in the league can react.
you just really can't, because like the stat they kept showing with Encarnacion was he had the most home runs in the 2010s. Like, I think he recently just hit his 400th home run, and just like I can't get over how it just came out of nowhere. It came out of absolutely nowhere. It was so unexpected, and uh, I couldn't I really couldn't get over, because when it happened, I was elated. I was so happy. And I saw not just one person, right? Because sometimes you'll see one tweet and you'll let it ruin, you'll let it judge. Like, oh, I saw, this person said this. So, it's like, look, one person could tweet anything, and it doesn't matter. But I saw multiple people kind of upset. It kind of felt like, oh, can he pitch? Like, why this isn't a pitcher? What are we doing? Why do we need him? And look, man, in any sport, when you get a guy like this, you figure it out later, right? It's like, look, we had
Mhm.
Edwin Encarnacion. The guy leads the AL in home runs. The guy has hit 30 plus home runs like every season since, like, I think, like '08. You figure it out later. There will always be spots for guys like that. Like, he's, like Boone said, he's our DH. Clint's going down. Maben will be down once Judge back. Talkman will be down. It's things figure itself out. The guy has a spot in this line. He has a spot in any lineup, and the Yankees adding him was just a phenomenal move. Especially Andrew, who they give up? Who they give up? Was it a top prospect? Was it a player on the roster? No, it was a pitcher in single A ball who we originally got, but wasn't from the Mariners, I believe.
It was
We
from the
got,
Mariners. That's
yeah,
the crazy thing with this trade, because the player the Yankees traded to Seattle, Juan Then, was originally acquired from Seattle in the first place when we traded Nick Rumbelow in 2016, and Rumbelow got DFA'd last week anyways. Like, this is just along the lines of the stuff Cashman does. He took a middle reliever 3-4 years ago, dealt him away, got a prospect back, used that same prospect, and sent him back to his original team for a legitimate monster power threat. And the best part is that the Mariners are kicking in cash to pay his salary on top of it. And you know what else is paying some of Encarnacion's salary? The rival Tampa
like
Bay
Tampa Bay
Rays.
Rays. Yep.
Because when Encarnacion went from Cleveland to Seattle, technically I think it was originally billed that he got traded to Tampa, and then it ended up being a 3-team trade, and then he was in Seattle instead of Tampa. But as part of the 3-team deal, that's when like Malik Smith went back to Seattle too. I think that's how the Rays got Tommy Pham, right? Maybe,
Mm-hmm.
or no, he maybe not Pham. Pham was, I think, there last year. But I know they got someone in that deal, and they kicked in some cash for the player or prospect they got back in it. Those weird 3-team trades that the Poto always gets involved in. Like, so the Yankees, I think that they're paying like $3 or $4 million for Encarnacion the rest of the season, and the guy could go out and hit 20 home runs for the rest or more the rest of the year. Like, that's
Yeah.
nuts.
And I believe he has a team option for 2020, right?
For $20 million, which seems
Yeah.
like a lot, but I mean, if he's out of his mind good, maybe they
Mhm.
consider it. But there's a $5 million buyout on it. So I mean, if they just want to cut ties after this year, $5 million is an easy pill to swallow.
Man, it's just great to have add a guy like that. I can't. The smile on my face was just so big, so bright when I heard that we were getting Edwin Encarnacion. But let's talk about what this means. Like, the few, obviously Clint gets sent down. People were surprised it was Clint, not Talkman, which really doesn't make a difference because if Stanton's coming back Tuesday, then one of them's but they're both going to be sent down. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
matter of who. But with Clint going down to AAA now, what do you think? Obviously, we talk about how Cashman likes to keep things under wraps, but what do you think the next move is? Like, what, obviously the trade deadline isn't over a month. We still have 5-6 weeks of possible trades and beyond that. But what do you think the next move is going to be, Andrew? What do you think Clint is going to be, centered around? Obviously, there's a lot of guys out there. The Scherzer, the Mad Bums are the popular names, but what could be an under the radar move you could see Cashman making?
I don't know, man. I still believe, and until I'm proven wrong, that Clint ultimately doesn't get traded. I think for what they gave up for him and the potential they see in him, he's worth keeping around, especially because of his age and his team control. And you never know how the outfielders are going to shake out. I mean, Gardner won't be here next year. Encarnacion might not be here next year. Maven won't be here. Like they may have a spot for Clint next year. So unless you can get a guy like Scherzer and have Washington eat a lot of his deferred money, I don't know if he gets traded. But I mean, you hear the names like Marcus Stroman, we may be able to go out and get.
Who's having a really good year.
Yeah,
Like,
you
he's
heard
cooled
earlier
down a bit.
today. What's that?
He's cool. I said Stroman's cooled down a bit, but he's still having a really good year.
Yeah, I mean, he's from Long Island, so you get him pitching for his hometown team. I mean that's a little shot in the arm. You heard guys like Zach Wheeler might be available, which I don't love, but I mean he throws really hard, and maybe they can find a way to make it work. Kind of like how the Astros got Garrett Cole, with uptick velocity. I'm not that he's going to be as good, but like you never know what's going on there. But I do want to know, like, as many fans that freaked out last night, like, oh, we have no pitching, we went out and got another hitter. It's like, dude, it's June 15th. The trade deadline is 45 days away. Like, there's plenty of time for Cashman goes out and gets a pitcher every year. You go back, like, we got Sonny Gray 2 years ago, we got Hap last year. Like, if you're in a race and you need to get an arm, he's going to get it done. And like, if we don't, get the guy to pitch for us in June, that doesn't help us. I mean, if having the guy a couple weeks earlier doesn't help us in October, as long as you have the guy on your roster come playoff time, that's all that matters.
And another thing in June is, you have to let the bad teams get bad. Like in mid-June, or maybe you have a team that's a few games below 500 that has a big arm that they say, oh no, we're still kind of in it, like it's too early. But maybe in the third week of July, when they're 12 games below 500 and 13 games out of a playoff spot, that's when they'll be more willing to make a deal because they realize that they're shit out of luck for this year.
Yeah, and it's important to note that
there are a few teams
MLB.
that are in June.
I mean, you got to remember MLB got rid of August waiver trades this year too. Like, July 31st is the trade deadline. If you don't go out and acquire a guy by that date, he's not moving. I mean, unless a guy gets like DFA'd and signed later, right, or whatever. But like, there's no waiver trades. Like, I think like when the Astros got Verlander 2 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. He was acquired on August 30th, August 31st. Like, it's not going to happen this year. So I think that's going to push urgency towards the July 31st trade deadline. There may be a lot of names that we haven't even heard of yet who will become available because that's the deadline. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. Really, like I said, heartbreaking seeing Clint, saying, hey, I feel like I contributed to this team this year. I feel like I've, done a lot of good things, but that's the business, right? Clint's play. And yeah, we'll see. Edwin should be playing Monday against Tampa, Stanton Tuesday. Man, it's about to get real scary, real scary. Andrew, let's review the week of baseball. Yankees played 6 games this week. They were supposed to play 7, but as it seems like every week, rain got in the way. And
they were supposed to play 6 games this week, and they played 6 games.
They got Monday. They got rained out against the Mets,
and they made it up as a doubleheader on Tuesday. Luigi high as hell. Oh my god, this is it. Luigi hits the bomb.
I thought it was supposed to be a 3-game set.
No.
Okay, you're right. Anyway, I'm still not used to the whole 2-game Subway set, but
it's weird.
Anyways, there was still a rain out this week, which is the point I was making. It seems like there's a rain out every week. Should get a rain out count. It was a doubleheader against the Mets, and first game went well, right? The bats were ripped. It seemed like everyone got hit this game. The Mets, not a good game for Zach Wheeler. Speaking of the devil, right? Gave up like 100 runs. Only 5 earned, but overall give up 9 runs on 10 hits. This was like one of the first games he didn't go at least 6 or 7 innings because he was that bad. The Mets fully planned on going. Like, I feel like the Mets were almost committed to him going 7 innings, but once that night.
And you know what? He probably would have too. Frazier makes that error that would have ended the inning. And I mean, I added like an extra 15, 20 pitches to that inning for him. He would have got an extra inning.
Yeah. Like I said, the Yanks bats were just absolutely ripping. Sanchez goes deep, Gio goes deep, Voit goes deep. Tanaka was a bit shaky, but overall he gets the win. 6 and 2/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 7 strikeouts. Kane, Lee, and Hale in the bullpen. Yanks win 12-5. The second game, um, you know, just bad. It seems like every time the Yankees are on ESPN this year, they just lose. I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they don't play well on ESPN, whether it's Sunday night, Wednesday night, Tuesday night, it doesn't matter. Paxton was the pitcher this game, and worst start of the year for Paxton. It might have been.
Probably.
I know he pitched decent today on Sunday, but man, he didn't look 100% this game. 2 and 2/3, 7 hits, 6 runs. He was out of there quick. Mets won this game 10-4. It really wasn't much of a game. Kind of saw the writing on the wall the whole game. Yankees split the doubleheader against the lowly, the average. The Mets, like I always say about the Mets, they're not like bad. They're just average as hell. They're so
kind of just there, yeah.
they're always like floating around 500. They don't know if they're going to be buyers or sellers at the deadline. Classic Mets. But yeah, this game, Jason Vargas pitched well this game. Pete Alonso hit a fucking bomb this game. He's pretty good. And yeah, Yanks split the Subway Series. Hopefully they'll get the better of them early in July when they go to Citi Field. Andrew, thoughts of this doubleheader? Love doubleheaders, right? It's like their 8th doubleheader of the year.
You know what? Actually, I don't hate it. If you have the day off before and the day off after, like you got to use all your bullpen guys, especially like that one game, the doubleheader against Baltimore last month, where they had to use some guys in both games. Like if you have a day off before and day off after, it kind of works out. I enjoyed the doubleheader. I don't love that Paxton went out and got slaughtered in the nightcap.
Definitely did.
Yeah, I mean they got down early in the first game. Who was it? Was it J.D. Davis who hit the home run, or was it Jeff McNeil maybe? The Yankees were down like 4-1 early. It might have been McNeil, and then they rallied back. I mean, they started ripping the ball off Wheeler, which was nice. I don't know, man. As happy as I was about that first game, and they put up 12 runs. It left a sour taste in your mouth. Paxton just getting blown to bits in the second game, but I don't know. We'll get to it later on, but he was able to right the ship Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. Fuck the Mets. Let's go to the next series. It was a 4-game set in the Windy City, and man, this one didn't start off great either. Well, technically, it did start off well because the Yanks were up 4-0 Thursday night.
God damn it.
Just like I feel like we've said this like so many times last few weeks, right? Like the Yanks were up 3 or 4-0, but it not for long. Happ was the pitcher of this game. He gives up 4 runs in the 5th after being given a 4-run lead off of a Gardner 2-run homer, along with a Frazier RBI single and a Didi. Or no, actually, Didi was up when Nova threw that wild pitch. I'm remembering now. But yeah, it's 4-0 Yanks, and Anderson hits a 3-run shot, ties it up. Ottavino comes in after Canley does some solid work, and solo home run to Garcia in the 7th inning, and that was it. That was all she wrote. White Sox win 5-4. Yankees lose 2 in a row. Bummer. Good old A-bum save for the White Sox, the first save of the year, and yeah.
That was probably one of their worst losses of the year, up there with the game in Toronto that they blew. It was ugly, man.
And like I still give the offense a pass. Like when they score 4 runs, then they don't score the rest of the game. Like I get that it's not ideal just to go like 5 innings without scoring a run at whatever point in the game, but man, like you give your starting pitcher a 4-run cushion, like, and it's not even like they gave it up in like the 8th or 9th inning. They gave it up in the fucking 7th inning. Like you can't even hold a 4-run lead for like a few innings. Like, come on, it's
right. And it was Happ. It wasn't even like he got stretched too far. It was the 5th inning they tied it up. So I mean, like he should be able to go 5 innings, especially because he was dealing early too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what was the most annoying part about that game? Or I should say, just it was specifically the interview with Ottavino afterwards. Because you remember Larry Garcia hit the eventual game-winning home run. It was like a 12-pitch at bat or something like that, and Ottavino just couldn't put it away. I think he had him 0-2 or 1-2, and just the at bat lingered so damn long. And they asked him afterwards, like, what was going on there? Like, was he a tough at bat? Like, do you give him credit for throwing off a lot of pitches? He's like, yeah. And then it got, the at bat lingered on so long. I didn't want to walk him, so I kind of just laid one over. Like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, that made me so mad. Like, yeah, leadoff walks suck, but like the alternative is just throw a cookie right down the middle, like it's blasted to space. Like, really?
Ottavino is not afraid to walk people. He has like fucking 20 walks in 31 innings this year. He's walked quite a few guys. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna get mad at Ottavino though for allowing a solo home run. I'm gonna get mad at Hap for allowing 4 runs in the 5th inning. Classic Hap. He's been, man, like I hate to keep harping on Hap, but man, like when we signed him in the offseason, I never had confidence that he was gonna have a good year, and he's just been so damn bland this year. Every time he has like a decent start, you think he's gonna follow up. He just never does. He's always I don't know, man. He's just been not good this year. On to Friday's game, spoiler alert, this was not much better. In fact, it was a lot worse. CC on the mound against a man I once called Lucas Gelato. Lucas Giolito, who has a damn good chance of starting the All-Star game for the AL at this point. I mean, he's been that good. And spoiler alert, he was that good again. Voit went deep off him in the 1st inning. Solo shot, things were looking good. And, man, CC just he looks shot, man. He was up 5 runs in this game, 4 2/3. White Sox win 10-2. It was a bloodbath.
Yeah, man, you said it right. Like, he looked shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was bad. This was not a good game. This was a game you just kind of like the 6th inning. Once Sessa came in, let up 4 runs, you kind of just turned the game off. You're like, all right, this one's over. Not much to talk about this one other than Jimenez is a Yankee killer. That's all I got. The guy is really damn good. Very afraid of that guy. Saturday's game, the Yankees, going to this game, they lost 3 straight games. And hot take, the Yankees opener is their best starting pitcher because Chad Green is the opener for this one. He gets 6 outs in this one, all by strikeout. He was and all swinging strikeouts too. He was like sitting at like 96, 97 with the fastball. Slider looked nasty. He was great. Nestor Cortez comes in after him. Nestor Cortez goes in and gives us 5 innings. He gives up a couple runs at the end, but overall 7 strikeouts. He gets.
Look. Let's give credit where credit's due. Cortez got tagged with 2 earned runs, but they're 100% on Jonathan Holder.
No, absolutely. But I'm just saying, like I'm pretty sure those first 4 innings, he was shutout. He was just coming in and just mowing.
First 5 innings were shutout. Yeah.
And of course, when any time Holder's involved in a good pitching performance, he's just gonna piss all over it. That's what Jonathan Holder does. He comes in and gives up a couple of runs. He got a little interesting at the end, like we said, but Chapman came in, which was a good move because it seems like recently Chapman just hasn't been getting any work because every game's either a blowout one way or the other. So Chapman comes in a 4-run game, pitches an inning, gives up a hit, gets a strikeout, and the Yankees win 8-4. This was a game Glaber went deep. Cameron goes deep. Sanchez has a few RBIs. Good game for the Yankees. It was a good game. They end a 3-game skid. Chad Green, best reliever on the Yankees? ? No, but honestly, good shit by Nestor Cortez. Like anytime you have an opener, like you need that one guy. Because look, like even with the Rays, like you call it an opener, but like at the end of the day, it's like they usually have one guy that's going 5-6 innings.
It's the bulk guy that they've turned in.
Yeah, even if it's like 5 different bullpen guys pitching, like one of those guys is probably going to go. Like they're going to want them to give him like 5 innings, And Nestor Cortes, that guy on Saturday night, he did a great job. Andrew, anything about this Saturday game? First Yankees win since early Tuesday.
Well, I mean that's the thing that they really needed to win, and I remember didn't they put the runs on the board like within minutes of the news breaking that they had gotten Encarnacion? So
I think it was like right because I remember like it was right. I saw like the tweet almost right away, and I remember it being 4-0. I think they were up to plate, so I think they had like just scored the 4 runs, and that's why I was like, oh, you're just you're very like your complete focus as a Yankee fan at that point, if you're watching the game, was the fact they just scored 4 runs, like wow, like
and then all of a sudden,
double, then a Glaber 2-run homer, then like a minute later, Edwin Encarnacion. It was very satisfying, very fitting. Also, Cameron may have been hitting a home run later in this game, very fitting. Like we said, he probably won't be on the team for much longer, but like Andrew, like you said, you really enjoyed Cameron. Really like Cameron. I hope he finds another home very quickly. But yeah, on to Sunday's game, the Yankees looking for the split, and James Paxton on the hill looking for redemption. Didn't look good early because he gives up the home run to Abreu right in the first inning, but other than that, he was pretty damn good. He gives us 6 innings, only 2 runs, 7 strikeouts. The Yankees' offense was once again. I mean, look, the White Sox have some good bats in that lineup, some really good bats, but they're pitching. I mean, that pitcher they put on the mound today was so damn bad. I mean, he was really bad. He looked good in the first couple innings, but man, that third inning, it kind of just all unraveled for him.
Once the lineup turned over the second time, like they were on him.
Yeah, they probably all went back to the dugout, how the hell did this guy get us out? Gardner gets the first big hit of the day at the base loaded, 2-run single. Then Gio gets an RBI single. Romy, you're my homie, 2-run single to make it 5-1. Roman got another RBI double in the 5th to make it 7-1. And, Maben, another homer, just for good measure, back-to-back days with a home run. Gardner had 4 RBIs in this one. It was good to get Ottavino, Hale to Britton out of the bullpen. Hale did give up a run, but at the end of the day, Yankees win 10-3, win back-to-back games, split the series, go 3-3 on the week. And, going 3-3 on the week isn't ideal when you face the Mets and the White Sox, but at this point, I'll take it. Right, like they've been going through a little bit of a rough patch. I'll take 3-3 for the week. Fuck it. Andrew, let's just get right into it. Who was your player of the week?
I had originally thought I was going to go with Maven again on the backs of the 2 home runs. Kind of considered Clint too, but ultimately I'm going to go with Gleyber Torres. Played in 5 of the 6 games and got hits in 4 of the 5 games. The one game he didn't was the Sunday game, and he walked 3 times. I mean, Gleyber's gotten his average up to, I believe it's like 285, 286. He's very steady. He's a very steady hitter in the middle of their lineup right now.
He's having such a good year, man. He really, and it's just crazy to think that he's probably going to be our 9 hitter if we're completely healthy with Encarnacion, Stan, and Judge, he's probably going to be the 9 hitter. And that's crazy because this dude's on pace to hit like over 30 home runs.
I mean, you can't play Baltimore 45 times a year, but
I mean, obviously it's true. Like most of those home runs are against the Baltimore Cookies, as Andrew likes to say. But he's really Gleyber is really damn good, man. And hey, when you have a bad team in your division like that and you take advantage of them, fair play. That's what you got to do. My player of the week is going to be our co-host G's favorite player, Brett Gardner. Gardy had 7 hits on the week, 2 dingers. I think he had 8 RBIs. He's played really well. Nice bounce back week for Gardy, obviously. Not too long ago, he was going through that 0 for 26 slide. Probably, right? Once Judge and Stanton, all these guys come back, he's obviously not going to be playing as much. which is expected. But Guardy had a really big week. He got things going today on Sunday. Had 4 RBIs. Yeah, Guardy is my player of the week, and I think it's probably the first time any of us have given Guardy a player of the week all year. So good on Guardy. Batting average still don't look great, but like we keep saying, man, I mean, he's a replacement guy at this point, and he has 11 home runs for us. He's gotten a lot of big hits.
And he's going to be on the bench. He's going to
Yeah,
be a good role player off the bench
exactly.
in a week or so.
Guardy off the bench. I think that's kind of what we anticipated all year. Thinking to ourselves, all right, Guardy off the bench, a guy that could run, a guy that could, play some solid outfield for you, a guy that could put one out every once in a while. That's a great guy to have off the bench.
Yeah, and if he starts 2 or 3 times a week and he contributes, fine. But like when he's out there hitting 230, playing every single day, that's kind of where you have the problem.
Yeah, exactly. And like you understand people at that point, like, getting mad saying, oh, like, screw Guardy, I want this guy to retire. Like, yeah, like, look, I understand. I don't want to see him out 5-6 times a week either. Like, trust me, I love Guardy, but it's just not who he is at this point in his career. Well, we went positive. Let's go negative. Andrew, what out of all the things that piss you off, what one thing really pissed you off this week with the Yankees baseball?
It's got to be the blown leads, man. Specifically that game on, what was it, Thursday night. And I mean, technically Friday they were up 1-0, and then the wheels came off on CC. But like, when you go a big, like they were up 4-0, and Hap was rolling on Thursday. That's a good way to start that series. You get an early lead, you kind of coast to an easy win to start a 4-game set, and then everything just imploded on him at that point. Man, like those games drive me up a wall. Like I almost like took my TV remote and threw it across the room when Larry Garcia hit the home run to put the White Sox up. Like that's a game I had no business losing, and that they hadn't been playing great to begin with, so it was just like a punch in the dick.
Yeah. That was such a bad way to start the series. Anytime you're up 4-0 against the Chicago White Sox and you don't get a win, never ideal. What pissed me off this week was, I love him, but CC, man, watching him pitch that on Friday night, that was really infuriating. Because look, I'm not going to be one of these people that complain like, oh, screw Cashman, we need a pitching. Whoa, what the hell? Like, I trust that we're going to get a good starting pitcher by the deadline. I'm not worried about that. But man, just seeing CC go out there and look so bad.
He had nothing.
Just nothing. Like, look, I think the league, after a few years of him doing this whole soft contact and like hitting the corners, not throwing hard, I think the league's starting to catch up to it. Like, they start to say, just let all his shit go and let this dude throw you an 88 mile per hour fastball in the zone and just mash it. Like, I think teams are starting to sit on his stuff a little bit more. You can kind of tell, especially a team like the White Sox, like we said, has a lot of hungry hitters, right? A lot of aggressive hitters. It was not a good, like you almost say in combat sports, styles make fights. That was a bad style matchup for CC Friday night, really bad. And really, any good team at this point is going to be a bad matchup for him. It's tough to watch, because we know this is last year, but can't continue being in the rotation, pitching like this. He just had nothing Friday night. That's really pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think,
whatever, man.
Once Sevy comes back, like maybe like I just can't see CC. I'm trying to imagine. I just can't see CC coming out of the bullpen like at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like we said on this podcast that in a perfect world he doesn't even start for us in the playoffs. But like, I mean, do you take him out of the rotation in the regular season too? Like, how do you? Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
Do you do what they do with A-Rod and kind of just like put him at the pasture and force him into retirement early? Like he can hang with the team in the dugout for his presence the rest of the year, but like he's like done. But now you have another starting pitcher you got to replace, and we're already beat up in the rotation as it is. Like,
Yeah, it's a sticky situation.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on this past week of baseball before we get into some injury news and notes?
Nah, I think we covered everything.
All right. Well, Andrew, Giancarlo Stanton, Tuesday should be back. Thoughts?
Dude,
Is that
you don't get former MVPs falling off trees like that. Um, he's played what 3 games for us this year, but he's hit a ton of bombs in in his rehab assignment. I mean, that's going to be such a welcome sight from the Mike Talkmans and Brett Gardner playing every day to the 2017 National League MVP, whatever MVD.
yeah? Andrew, should we trade him though? Should we trade
Dude,
Gaudreau?
dude, he strikes out. He strikes out a couple times. Like that's it. He struck out that one time against Boston Plus. He's literally the worst Yankee and the worst trade cash ever made.
Months Twitter and just a lot of Yankee fans in general just hating Stanton, thinking he sucks is just the funniest thing to me.
Dude, oh my god.
Like the dude had 1 year where I know he had some terrible moments, some 5 strikeout games, some bad shit happened, but you look at the big picture. You just go on his baseball reference and look at those numbers. I
He
mean,
played hurt half the year and still hit 38 home runs.
and like it's so upsetting because obviously before injuries just bombarded this team. We're talking about the beginning of the year. Like I thought Stanton was going to have a big year, and look, who knows?
He still might.
Exactly. He still has all like half of June, all of July, all of August, all of September. He can still end up with 25, 30 home runs. I mean, the guy's a freak, right? Like the guy had freaking what? Like how many home runs do you have that month of August? So when you're like 18, like he could
17, 18,
yeah,
yeah.
like, he could hit 20, 30 home runs in no time. So we'll see, and we'll know obviously if Stan goes in the postseason. You see, let's say he has like 27 home runs or something. Like you'll know that like how many games he played. It's not just like, he had an off year. Like, no, it's 80 games, 28 home runs. Like, wow, that's decent. We know he's capable of it because Judge, I believe played 20 games, and I think he had like 6 home runs. So Judge, played some more games this year. He'd actually kind of gotten to a little bit more of a rhythm. Stanton, he can't get into a rhythm playing 3 regular season games.
For all intents and purposes, he hasn't played at all this year.
Exactly. It's like might as well not even play this year. Yeah, so Judge probably going to be a bit long. I think we could expect to see Judge after this week of baseball against the Rays and the Astros. First of all, that's for Stanton. Look, I'm just going to say this now. Let's not get mad at Stanton
When he strikes out and starts to bat.
he doesn't have the best week this week. Like, look, we're playing the Rays and the Astros. Probably like two of the best rotations and two of the best pitching staffs in all of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, if Stanton isn't mashing every ball, maybe it's because the pitchers he's facing are really damn good.
And here's the alternative, like Stanton getting up there striking out, or Mike Talkman getting up there and striking out, swinging through 93-mile-per-hour fastballs right down the middle. Is that what you want? Like,
No, I'm just marveled by Yankee fans. Like anytime, especially hitting, anytime like a Yankees team is getting shut out or it's like a 2-0 game. It's always these guys suck. Like why can't they hit? It's like maybe the pitcher on the mound or the pitchers on the mound are really damn good and are just on point tonight. It happens sometimes, especially against teams like the Astros and Rays. So yeah, it's just something to watch out for. Yankee Twitter will be up in arms once Stanton swings and misses at a pitch. Andrew,
you're gonna see he didn't tear his bicep on that swing. Ooh, those condescending dick tweets.
Yep, wonderful place Twitter is. Bullpen trust list. Are we ready? Does Andrew have Chad Green 1? Andrew, spoil us. Well, what's your bullpen trust list?
I'm going to actually keep it exactly in line with what it was last week. There's really they didn't have a lot of games where high leverage situations for the guys to come in anyway. And even though Ottavino did give up that home run, I'm not going to drop him down. So to recap last week and what I had again tonight, it's Chapman 1, Britton 2. I'm going to keep Chad Green at 3, which was a bit of a stretch last time, but I mean, he came out firing bullets on Saturday night, so he solidified his spot there. and then Ottavino 4, Cantley 5. But those guys 3 through 5 are all pretty interchangeable. I mean, that's going to flow so much over the course of the next few weeks. But I mean, Chapman hasn't really done anything wrong to move off the top spot all year. And Britton had a one or two rough outings, but I had no doubt when he comes in that he's going to come in and get the job done.
Yeah, my list this week. I'll still have Chapman at number 1. I feel good about that. Ottavino 2, even after the solo homer. I still like Ottavino. Because, look, it's going to happen where, look, a solo home runs happen, right? Like, I'd rather a relief pitcher give up a solo homer than, 2 walks or 3 walks and a base hit, right? So, you give up a home run, it happens. Yeah, so I have Chapman 1, Ottavino 2. 3, it's tough. I want to put Britton, but I'm still going to go Cantley. Cantley, Britton. And then, yeah, Swag Green 5th. Absolutely. He's been awesome. He's really redeeming himself. Yeah, that's my bullpen trust list. Shout out to Nestor Cortez.
Mm-hmm.
Very good out of the bullpen this week. Whatever the opposite of a shout out is, Jonathan Holder, get out of here.
He was on our trust list a good number of times so far this year.
Oh, I know.
And right now it's like it's our laughing stock.
He's been on that 5 spot quite a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I know Betances had the setback, but I really G has the boldest bullpen trust list precedent that the moment Betances comes back, he's going to have him like number 2. I respect it, but
that's on record. He said that.
Yeah, he said that like that. He has a spot saved for Dell in it too. So, well, we'll see. But let's finish the show previewing the Rays series. We play the Rays again. We're 4-2 against the Rays this year. As of now, I think we're first in the AL East as of now, if I'm not mistaken. We've been flip-flopping back and forth like the last few days, like where they're up a game and a half or up a half game, down a half game. As of now, we're up a half game on Tampa in the division. It's good. It should be right as of now. It's 2 bullpen days for the Rays, and then Blake Snell on Wednesday, so should be fun.
Okay.
Should be fun. Andrew, how are we feeling going up against the Rays? We're 4-2 against them this year. You feel another series win coming, or not?
I mean, they haven't been playing the best of baseball the last 2 weeks, but it will be nice to come home and kind of recalibrate against, arguably their toughest stretch of this season. 2 teams that almost surely will be. I don't want to say surely because of the Tampa Bay Rays, because you never really know, but like for sure the Astros are going to be postseason threats. 2 teams they may be facing in October. Ultimately, I think Tanaka is going to have to come out and really set the tone on Monday and really establish the rotation. I mean, we got a great start from Paxton on Sunday. Tanaka can follow it up and go out there and really put the Yankees in a good spot. Take game 1. That'll really change the entire outlook for the whole series.
Yeah, I just always worry about the Yankees with bullpen days, especially Snell through that. Like, remember he had all those strikeouts when he faced the Yankees the first time this year. Him versus Tanaka, but even though Tanaka held his own in that matchup first time, or actually it's him versus CC. I'm mistaken. Tanaka pitches Monday. Oh man, it's gonna be a tough week for the Yankees. They have to play the Rays and they have to play the Astros, so it's not gonna be easy. Not gonna be an easy week. But hey, that's why we got Edwin Encarnacion, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's all we got for this episode of the Bronx Farm Ballot podcast. Big week coming up, man. Big week coming up. G back, Edwin Encarnacion. Oh my God. He makes his debut Monday. G back Tuesday.
Get ready for the dingers.
Is he going to hit a dinger his first game? That's the question. It's
Let's be bold. I'm gonna say yes.
I was gonna say no, just because the Rays, and I respect their pitching. Their pitching acumen, they have they probably still have the best ERA in baseball. But
Mhm.
yeah, I would. It would be awesome if he does, but it's a tall task, especially against Tampa.
I
But
mean,
we'll see.
how do you structure the lineup? What is he going to hit seventh?
I I think he I think he's number 5 hitter. Like I just it's tough to wrap my mind around it now, but
So like before Stanton and G come back, Stanton and G, Stanton and Judge come back.
gee,
Stanton is G.
yeah,
Before those two guys come back, how do you see them shaking out tomorrow? I mean, they're probably going to go the best lineup they can, right? So DJ Hicks,
DJ,
Voit,
yeah, DJ Hicks.
Gary.
I'd say DJ Hicks, Voit, Gary, Encarnacion, and then
I mean,
D,
Clint's gone, so that's a nice bet. But then maybe Glaber sixth.
or
Ooh, Didi, yeah.
probably then you probably want to go lefty, and
You
then
forget that like Didi is here because he's been activated for like a week, but he's only played in what 4 games. But like, oh yeah, Didi's in the lineup.
yep. Um, it's just so crazy to think the fact guys like Didi, Glaber, even possibly LeMahieu or Hicks are going to be hitting 7th, hitting 8th, hitting 9th. It's because someone's got to hit down there,
It's impossibly deep.
and I'm sure those guys don't mind. And I'm sure there's not going to be just one set lineup throughout the year. Guys are going to get hot, guys are going to get cold.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert: more injuries probably will happen. Like we're not just
You
done,
may see Clint Frazier back in a couple weeks.
right? Who knows what can happen? But it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. If you were mad when you heard this trade, screw you. Like it's Edwin Encarnacion. Look, like I said, when you get a guy like that's this good, you figure out the rest later. Look, man, we're gonna get a start. We're gonna get a starting pitcher by the trade deadline. If we don't, then Cashman high as hell. Okay, like what else we gotta say? It's gonna happen. Just wait and see. Trade deadline still not for another 6 weeks. Everything's gonna be all right. This team's still in first place, and that's gonna be the episode. Andrew, any final thoughts?
Nothing for me, man.
Honestly, Andrew, I don't know how you didn't have Jonathan Holder number 1 on your bullpen trust list. That's all I got.
Do you want to re-record the show? We could do bullpen trust list over again.
Oh man, that's another guy who, like him and Seth, Seth has kind of redeemed himself, but man, I do not enjoy him and Seth at
Did you
all.
say Seth has kind of redeemed stuff? He just got blasted on like Friday.
I'm saying like this year in general, like he's had
Oh
some,
yeah.
and like he's his stock has rose a little bit, but it hasn't risen enough for me to like him. But enough talking about Louis Sessa and Jonathan Holder. That was the episode, and we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, the next time we talk to you, Edwin Encarnacion will have like 30 home runs.